Evening all.
Rest your elbow on something.
Do us a favour, fuck the laws, fuck everyone off, and let's fucking do what we're here for. Happy days. Anyone want to go home, they can fuck off home now. But if they're here to stay, we're here to fucking stay.
Okay, point of clarification.
I agree that we should stay. The matter on discussion is, if we, the issue is, we basically have a choice, according to the best legal advice we have, that either we look at eviction within 2 weeks, or we could be staying for longer. I would like us to see us staying for longer. That is why legal have put this proposal together for you.
We don't.
Okay, point of clarification. There's a lot of people here I don't recognise. That probably means you've been here for a week or 2 weeks, but probably not much longer. 29 members of Occupy presently have court dates for their actions and their hard work throughout this campaign. I don't think they would stand for this organisation falling over at the first hurdle. It's not even good enough, nowhere near close. Stand up, we are a movement of opposition, let's oppose. Just clarifying how some people would feel, that's my point of clarification.
I'd just like to ask, for your proposal of the bodies that we need support of, what bodies are they? What represents the body that could give us the support? I think you didn't clarify quite well that, so I would like to ask you that again.
I can do that. The theory of international statehood has changed since the 19th century, and now certain things that you're seen to have to be able to do in order to be a state, for instance, conform to human rights law. But as a basis, the constitutive theory of statehood still applies, so you need to be recognised by other states, basically.
What do you know the nations?
It's very, very most important that we do clarify, make a distinction between discussion and dialogue. And there is a difference between legally continuing a dialogue and our discussions. And it's very, very important that we make that distinction and keep it clear and maintain that dialogue. I could not agree more. But it's, we can maintain a dialogue through, legally, keep our position clear, and maintain the dialogue. Please, let's maintain the dialogue.
I don't want to preempt what will be said in the legal offer, but I think that when you read it, if you haven't read it already, you will see that it does make our continuing dialogue with the Corporation of London contingent on them accepting and listening to us and making and taking action.
Just to clarify something for the benefit of anyone who wasn't here last night, what we discussed, and there was a fair amount of agreement with, was that if, in order not to cost somebody £100,000 in legal fees, we need to technically make a counter-offer which we can use for very concrete strategic purposes, then that might be something worth doing. That's not the same as caving in or falling over or saying we want to go. So it's really important that we distinguish between what we feel about this camp and the incredibly strong feeling everyone has about wanting to stay, and the technical things that we need to dance with to get there. So that was just clarifying the situation. A technical clarification, somebody brought up last night that we could move the tents, and how relevant is that question of whether these are permanent structures to whether we're blocking the highway, etc.?
This will be spoken about in the legal offer, which you will hear. In essence, what the legal offer says, and I'll preempt it slightly just to answer your clarificatory question, is that we will make our demands on the Corporation of London very clear, and we will also say to them that we will, up until now we have engaged very constructively with the Cathedral in response to all legitimate health and safety concerns, and we will continue to behave in that sensible way because we are grown-ups. Exactly. They will talk about clearing the highway, which they claim is over there. To be honest, the exact boundaries of that highway And what constitutes permanent structures, you know, if we get to court on it, will be a matter for the courts to decide. So we don't actually have to. All of that stuff is in the reverse of this, on the reverse of this sheet. But the advice of Paul Byman's is that, in actual fact, it's irrelevant. This is tactical stuff designed to confuse the General Assembly and make it impossible for us to come to a decision, basically.
We need Paul Ridge here to tell us what's going on. We need him to clarify it. He's our legal representative. Where is he now? Get him on the phone and bring him down here to explain all these things you say, I think he means this. Let him tell us himself, just like this guy here told us stuff, and you try to block him. Let Paul Ridge tell us what he thinks we should do.
Unfortunately, Paul Ridge can't be here tonight. He has been down here before to explain the position, and he has been spending time today in conference with Ben, who apologises. Ben can't be here either tonight. Ben has been very involved in the Fortnum & Mason trial. He's had to give evidence today. Despite that, he's put this proposal together. He's been in constant communication with Paul Ridge. We're very overstretched here in all manner of ways, but we're doing the very best we can.
Okay, that's the last two clarifications, okay, and then we can go into discussion.
It's kind of more of a question, really. So we've got these additional details on the back of this sheet. I've just got a question. Like, we received this email last Friday, which is pretty much a week ago, and we're only just seeing it now. Why is that? Why has it taken a week for us to read this?
Good question.
I believe that someone had taken it upon themselves to print this out and place it in the info tent a couple of days ago. However, I will say this. In terms of the actual legal question facing us, as I say, the judgment of Paul Ridge and Duncan, who's one of the barristers working with us, was that this stuff is a bargaining tool, it's a tactical manoeuvre on behalf of the Corporation of London.
That doesn't answer the question.
Answer my question.
That's not answering the question.
Your question.
I
am answering your question, or I'm trying to.
Protest, please. Raise your hand.
So we have. Yesterday, the concern was raised that these conditions are not made available to you. So we have made them available to you tonight. I hope that helps. That you now have the full information in front of you that you need in order to answer this question.
No, that doesn't answer my fucking
The question was why.
Why did it take a
Somebody
week?
here said that this is only about legal and we should consider the wider issues, and I would just like to clarify that then we will have more discussion. This is only about legal, what we are doing at the moment. We will be talking about more things later. And please, we need to finish this now. So this is the last point of clarification.